Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Suji, hello.
Yes. Yes. I can hear. Good morning. Namaskar.
Very good morning, madam.
Very
Just-
early for you, huh?
we are waiting our VC sir. We will just start within 3 minutes.
Okay.
Extremely
problem.
sorry, madam. Please be.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. It's very
Okay.
early morning in.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Morning, Sukanya. Santa here.
Hello.
Santa here.
Yes. Thank you. Hello.
After 42 years, can able to
Wow.
see you, beta.
So,
ଏତେ ଦିନ ପରେ ଟିକେ ଦେଖା ହେଲା ଠିକ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଅଛି ଆମେ କଥା ହବା ହେଲା ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଦଉଛି ସେମାନେ ସବୁ କଣ କହିବେ କାଳେ ହେଲା
Good morning, Rio. Hi. You're from Japan? Oh, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Just Santa invited me for this online. Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
You can find myself on the Google. Just put philosophy and gerontology and the app on the top of the Google. You will be able to find myself.
Oh, good. Yeah, we'll check.
hello.
Very good morning to all of you. Very good morning to all of you.
good morning
So let me ask you to join our university anthem. Please stand on your seat to have our university anthem.
Pani sa re ga sa re ma ga re sa ni sa. विश्व देखा मधुमय रे जीवन विश्व देखा मधुमय विश्व देखा मधुमय मधुर झरण करी बहरण मधुर झरण करी बहरण तो पाप मरण भय रे जीवन विश्व देखा मधुमय विश्व देखा मधुमय মধুময় বনে মধুময় সনে গাই মধুময় গীতি বিহঙ্গম গণ পুরান্তি শ্রবণ বিহঙ্গম গণ পুরান্তি শ্রবণ মধু ঢালি নীতি নীতিরে জীবন বিশ্ব দেখা মধুময় বিশ্ব দেখা মধুময় বিশ্ব দেখা
Please be seated. Respected Vice Chancellor Sir, Honorable Registrar Madam, respected Deputy Registrar Sir, our respected speakers, Madam Sukanya Rai, Vikram Rai Sir, ex-Vice Chancellor Atanupati Sir, Ryo Takahashi Sir from Japan, Professor Santa Mishra Madam, retired professor, and all the dignitaries present online and offline, and my dear students, my dear colleague friends and technical staff. It is my august presence to take part in this international webinar, which will focus on elderly people. I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir to inaugurate the meeting and give the welcome address, sir.
No line. No line. Thank you, Dr. Fadi. I welcome all of you to this webinar on caring for the elderly. First, let me join you all in welcoming our resource persons who have been addressing all the way from the United States of America, Dr. Sukanya Roy and Dr. Vikram Roy. Welcome you online to GM University. Professor Atanupati, former Vice Chancellor of GM University, and other dignitaries who have joined online, faculty members and their students. I just wanted to inform you that this topic fits very well with GM University's efforts to care for the elderly, not just in terms of services, but in terms of research efforts. The university has a center funded by the World Bank, and this center is slowly building up its resource base, and we are including and we are trying to enroll as many experts as possible for this work. And I'm sure with the kind of expertise Dr. Roy and the others like Dr. Roy are going to give us, the center as well as our efforts to care for the elderly will be further improved. I will not say much. Look forward to a good deliberations. And thank you. Psychology, School of Psychology has been taking these kind of steps, and I would like them to take more such steps in the near future. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. It's my proud privilege to have the eminent dignitaries offline like our PGC sir, Susanda sir, IQAC Director Alex sir, and Coordinator Madam Madhumita, and Mona Lisa Madam and Madhumita Madam from Computer Science HOD, and all the heads present over here, Raghunatha sir and extra. So let me introduce the eminent speakers. First, let me introduce Madam Sukanya Rai. She is a native of Odisha, India, and has been trained and worked in India, Australia, and USA. She has taught undergraduate and graduate courses in psychology at various universities in India, Australia, and USA. She is a registered psychologist in India and has been trained at clinical sites in USA. She has been a community consultant, researcher, and educator in multicultural issues, health disparities, and well-being areas. Her research interests include loss, trauma, post-traumatic growth, positive psychology, well-being, Asian mental health risk, barriers to care, utilization of alternative health care, healing practices, and international students adjustment, well-being areas. She has supervised more than 25 master's and doctoral research projects. She has supervised master's doctoral dissertations for universities in India, Australia, and USA. She is co-chair of the Committee on Ethnic Minority Affairs and a board member of the Massachusetts Psychological Association. She has been involved as an executive committee member of Asian American Psychological Association and also a steering committee advisory board member of the New England Psychological Association. She has offered her services as a board member committee in various non-profit organizations, including Asian Task Force Against Domestic Violence, Asian American Psychological Association, Division 35 of APA. She has presented her work both at national and international conferences and published her research in peer-reviewed journals and books. She has been actively involved in educational training, community outreach, consultation services, and mentoring programs to strengthen cultural competence and community health awareness initiatives. She has received awards for her diversity education and training, including 2018 community recognition by Padmalaya D Talent, Puri, Odisha, India, and 2014 Stanley Sue Distinguished Diversity Lecture, University of Maine, Orono. She has organized state and national level psychology conferences. More recently, she was part of a Massachusetts Psychological Association diversity delegate team to APA, and the team received presidential recognition for their DEI. That means diversity, equity, and inclusivity work. She received the 2022 Teacher of the Award from Massachusetts Psychological Association. Thanks a lot, madam, to have you with us. Let me again introduce Sir Bikram Rai. Bikram Rai has been working in the IT software field for more than 15 years. He is a native of Odisha and has extensive work experience across government and private corporate sectors, red sectors in India, Australia, and USA. He has teaching experience in the Information System Department of Sawyer Business School, Suffolk University in Boston. He has been involved in mentoring undergraduate and graduate students in computer fields for last 5 years in India. He has expertise in mobile app design and development. He also specializes in cutting-edge technology such as AI, machine learning, design, architect of various mobile apps to solve day-to-day common people's simple and obvious problems like forgetting their medicines and connecting with doctors, pharmaceuticals, and loved ones. He will share about the use of the Nimai mobile app designed for our elders to keep track of medicines, timely reminders, and other support for monitoring and improving healthcare and well-being. This app group is working with a multidisciplinary team of professionals like providers, researchers, and IT. This presentation will be an interactive session with the goal to give a demo of this mobile app, Nimai usage, and to have your feedback to make this app more consumer friendly to meet your need. They invite you to look at the current features in Nimai app and provide your response to market it more user friendly. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you.
Now I invite Madam Sukanya Rai to give her deliberations. Thank you, madam. It is up to you now.
Thank you. Very good morning. And I hope you can hear me, right?
Yes,
Hear me
yes,
all
madam.
right?
Yes, madam. Yes,
Yeah.
madam. Good morning.
Yeah. So very hearty welcome to Vice Chancellor Professor Nagraj and all the dignitaries. And my special thanks to Dr. Padhi. She has been wonderful, welcoming, and very proactive person, which makes everything happen. And also, if I don't recognize anyone, just apology, but from my heart, welcome. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to take about probably not much time, 25 minutes to give you some introduction, and hopefully you can see the slide. Madam, you just let me know whether it is visible. Can you see the slide?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. If it is not, just let me know, okay?
Yes, yes, madam. Yes.
So, in fact, I just wanted to tell you that this is something I care about a lot because I am from Odisha, India. I grew up also with my grandparents. So this topic is very dear to me. And this is how I'm planning to do my talk, and I'll be very brief. But I will start with by saying, this is a quote from our leader, Mahatma Gandhi: the true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable member. This quote is very much aligning with the topic. So I'm going to give you a little bit of introduction, which I'm going to be very brief, but really why I even am interested, who inspired me, what are the theories of aging and what perspective we can take. Next is the health and the healthcare models, because that's very important for any research, I guess you all know. And then what are the challenges and stresses and health impact of our elders? What has been found in research, and what are the promotion of well-being, and what current initiatives I'm taking. And then Bikram will give you information about the mobile app that we as a team are very much involved. And also stop me when you can't hear me or you have any question. It doesn't have to be very kind of monotonous. I will start by saying my journey began with my family members. These are my family members from my husband's side. And the reason being, in that family, knowledge, education, and community well-being were very much emphasized by his grandfather, his great-grandfather, who came from a very small village, but never stopped offering service to communities. And then my father-in-law, who was an eminent professor in philosophy, who passed away, also was very involved in community education. And particularly the app that we are very engaged is dedicated to Dr. Nimananda Rai, who is my father-in-law's younger brother. They are in a joint family. He always has inspired us how to give back to our society. So I just want to acknowledge all my elders in the family. Without that, I think I wouldn't be here. They are inspiration. And then I have my family. On the right-hand side is my father and mother. I'm from Odisha. I grew up in Bhubaneswar, but I was born, my hometown was Balasore. My grandfather, who is on the left-hand side, was also a civil rights, civil disobedience movement during British rule. So I grew up in a family where independent movement was taught so much, how to be more engaged in community. So because of this background, I guess I was very involved in community. So let me just give you a little bit of information about theories on aging. I think most of you are in psychology, I guess. So you must heard about Erikson's stages of development. So he talked about age 40 to 65 is a stage that we all know our grandparents, how generous they are. They give back to family. Some of them give back to their career. Some of them give back to the community. According to Erikson, that's a very positive development or mindset of people at that age. Then comes the 65 and older, where also a lot of wisdom. On your right-hand side, what is the model that talks about successful aging, which involves minimum or minimized risk of disease and disabilities, engagement with life, and then maintaining physical and cognitive function. These are all from the psychological perspective. I personally believe in positive psychology, and Martin Seligman, who was the founder of positive psychology perspective in USA, developed a theory called PERMA, which is on your left. And he talked about how different kind of positive emotion, positive engagement, and also positive relationship, and then a meaning-making process and accomplishment. These are part of a human psychology that keeps us well and healthy. The other two diagram in the middle one is domains of well-being. When we talk about well-being, it's not just physical, it's physical, social, psychological, and then spiritual. On the right hand, this is the model developed by Dr. Kumar, who talked about how resiliency also is part of our well-being, which involves a lot of perspective like creativity, connectedness, curiosity, communication, and all those things. These are important things to remember when we are talking about aging and elderly care and their well-being. Okay, so next, yes. Oh, it's not moving at all. I don't know what happened. It's getting stuck. I don't know what happened. Why it is not moving? Maybe I have to close it. Oh, what? I don't know what happened.
Is this?
No, it's not moving. Stop. I don't know what happened. So let me just begin. I'm so sorry that it didn't move. So let's see. I think something happened. Why it is not moving, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other model that I wanted to touch upon, which I have used in my research called health model, that applies mainly to the relationship. Any health that we talk about, it depends on what kind of relationship we have, the quality and the nature of relationship that could be with our family member, peers, community, and also the research which was developed here, the model, has been found that the growth enhancing relationship includes domains such as authentic, how authentic we are, and then empowerment. Any relationship which is not empowering is not a good relationship. Mutual engagement, and finally deal with conflict and differences. So this is important when we are talking about elderly care too. Next is the model, which is the healthcare model. When we talk about healthcare, for elderly, of course, for everybody, but particularly for elderly, again, the healthcare utilization is best when it is the integrated model. So on your left-hand side, the integrated model includes how providers or caregivers are including biological, psychological, and social aspects of intervention. When they are providing care, it's not just biological that will help, because we are all connected, and that integrated model of healthcare is the key. In the middle of the diagram, this is, I guess, some of you may know the Bronfenbrenner's model, who talks about how individual is affected by so many systems. And thus, when we are talking about elderly care, every single system matters, starting from home to neighbors to other areas. On your right-hand side is the model, which is very recent, and we have adapted that model to do our research. It's the Anderson model. Anderson talks about various aspects of a relationship characteristics, which include, the characteristics of elderly when they are receiving the care, and also the organization which is involved in providing care, what kind of health literacy, health behavior, and finally that will determine how the care is received. So these are some of the model I wanted to kind of show you. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about what kind of challenges we face when or the stresses that we experience in life, particularly for elderly, and how that impact the health. Physical health and mobility, I guess your center is established. I'm so happy to know that Dr. Badi has mentioned this. So physical health and mobility aspects are most challenging for our elderly. And then after COVID, what has been found worldwide is that the health anxiety among elders are relatively very high. For all of us high, but particularly for elderly. The other challenges elderly folks find, and that is loneliness and mental health. I know that we are a little bit less open to mental health issues in India and also in Odisha, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It does exist. Next is the relationship challenges, which is in this age, our elderlies have reduced contact with family. Everybody is going outside. Me, I can use my own example. I have been away for some time, so less physical contact with family. Of course, these days, smartphone is a help to do the video call and all that. The second part, which is also very disturbing, that is family conflict and neglect. Many elderly suffers. And also loss and grief. Elderly sometimes deal with loss of partners, loss of other members, contemporary people, that also impact their health. Financial issues also play a role. Reduced engagement in activities. That is one of the areas which is really very important when we see elderly not contributing to our society in terms of work, career. That creates also kind of, it impacts health. Living situation. What that means is that, I'm not talking about people who are wealthy, but across society, there are some people, elderly, after retirement, their financial issues are more challenging, so the living situations are difficult. Next is, some of the elders also miss home, partly because I know many grandparents or elderly folks move from their native city or village to urban areas where their children or grandchildren are. So that uprooting of native place sometimes creates some kind of homesickness. Next is a sense of less productive. When I say productive, it applies to both men and women, not just men when they are retired. Women also sometimes feel that they are not able to contribute a lot like before. That creates also some mental health issues. And the last one is pandemic, the big stressors all over the world, as I mentioned before. Now I'm going to not go through a whole lot of things. This I can give it to Dr. Pardee. You can share. These are all statistics coming from World Health Organization as well as National Institute of Health on South Asians in India and US. And there is a rise of this population. They're predicting 12% to 22% increase from 2015 to 2050, our elderly population. And with that, also they are expecting a rise of neurological issues like dementia and other cognitive decline. There are risks also with other functional kind of characteristics such as physical pain and other kind of diseases. So those are the physical, but some mental health mental health issues have been found to be increasing, particularly in 2022. Webb and Chen did the research. They have found that following pandemic, adult mental health has been pretty concerning all over the world. It's not just here in US, but many part of Asia, including India. So I just wanted to kind of show you that. And then to talk a little bit about the research. These research are very much relating to findings in India. So Bloom in 2016 talks about rise of population of this particular age group is increasing, so as challenges of diseases, which Bloom uses as non-communicable diseases, which includes cardiovascular diseases, cancer, chronic respiratory diseases, diabetes, eyesight problem, and all that. There is an increase of those diseases. And then in 2016, Manet did some research looking at some of the social challenges that our elderly are facing in terms of their context. So the care aspect must include lack of infrastructure. Yes, doctors are there, but not everywhere we find the infrastructure of care. Change of family structure. A lot of families are moving outside of their hometown for job, children's education. Thus, family structures are changing. I'm not saying all, but a lot. There is lack of social support in many parts, and that could create some challenges. Social inequality in terms of income and financial stability. Finally, the accessibility and availability and affordability of healthcare. I think this is where elder care comes, like how are they going to access healthcare when they are not having proper facilities? I guess this is where I'm very, very happy to know that GM University has the center. So that really excited me to actually get connected with Dr. Pardee, that this is a fabulous thing, a university taking on a center to understand elder care, or that could lead to research and other kind of thing. Very recently, Kapoor in 2018 did the study on aged people in India and found some 3 or 4 kind of problems, social problems, which I just mentioned before. But what they found, the technological use has been very challenging for elderly because they're not that familiar with use of mobile technology. There are economics problem and also psychological problems related to dementia, depression, social exclusion, anxiety, and other things. And also other kind of problems you must be aware, reading newspaper and all that, accident, dietary conditions in our society. I'm not saying all, but a lot of people don't believe in physical exercise, and that could impact change of lifestyle. Many elders also face many legal issues in terms of, conflict with family, community, and finally, one thing which we never talk, that is elder abuse. Elder abuse is increasing in South Asia. So these are some of the research. I don't want to bore you, but just to show you a couple of research findings that in South Asia after pandemic, a lot of problems are surfacing. So these are some of the model, and the model is how do you reduce stress? I guess these are coming from Western world, but I would say that coming from India, I think we have the best model that we have not used. Some of these models will work beautifully when we integrate with our own culturally sensitive model, which India has offered to the world. And this can be used how to reduce stress, body, mind, emotion, and behavior. And we all know when we are stressed, that's when all the problem comes, unless we use some adaptive strategies to reduce stress. So when we are talking about elderly, their stress level is definitely a little bit higher because of physical and other issues. These are again some of the models which I would just concentrate on the middle one and the left side. The 5 areas of therapeutic self-care has been found to be very effective. Physical self-care, then lifestyle changes, support from family, friends, emotional self-care or the psychological, and finally spiritual. Now the spiritual domain of self-care is really now on the rise in this part of the world, in US, but I think we are very fortunate being born and brought up in India, because that's our, I would say, our heritage. Spirituality in India has offered the world a lot of good information, how to take care of oneself, and it impacts good health. The other thing that I wanted to say a little bit is that aging also depends on how we are taking the perspective. The positive perspective on aging helps a lot, because that way we deal with that process in a much more accepting way than in a fighting way. And some research has shown that people who accept but still remain active, their experience of aging is more positive than when someone takes a very negative stand for whatever reason. There is nothing to judge, but research has shown that aging, if accepted and one feels productive in any realm, in family, in society, community, the process of aging becomes much more pleasant or less burdensome. And these are some of the areas has been studied, and I'm just going to focus on a couple of areas. When we are talking about elder care, it cuts across certain domain. It starts with consumer, meaning elderly folks. And I just put on the left-hand side, if you could see the slide in the red, which has been found that engagement in daily exercise, healthy meals, very important for promotion of well-being in our elders. Next is encouragement. This is where sometimes people feel a little bit down, whether the encouragement comes from family, providers, doctors, friends, and their social network, it helps. And next is maintaining certain practices, whether the practices are culturally adaptive or religious rituals, it helps them to maintain well-being. Connecting with community members and activities. I would just say that GM University has started the center. I mean, connecting with elders from that kind of activities is really very beneficial. We have seen here how beneficial it is. Next is empowerment of elderly, which can be achieved through maintaining contact with them, whether it is virtual or in person. How to involve them in mentoring. Many times elderly feel like they're done with their career, but in a way, if you think about it, they have so much of wealth of knowledge and wisdom. They can provide a lot of information to the next generation, and that gives them empowerment. Community service settings, which we did a research, and we are thinking about publishing that very soon this year. What we found is that when they're engaged in community services, elderly who are going into nursing home, and I'm talking about USA only, this study was done here, when they are going after their retirement to do some services in nursing home, assisted living with elder care, what they have found that they have a better meaning-making process. They feel like their life is worth living, and they found meaning. Next, I would say that we have digital social media now, which probably Bikram will talk a little bit about. This is both a blessings and also a barrier, because some of our elders are not very familiar, but that doesn't mean we cannot familiarize them. So digital technology could be a way to connect with them in a better way. And then I would just say that alternative healing practices. India has offered the world the best ever alternative strategies. Of course, many Asian countries like Japan, China, India, the age-old alternative healing strategies help a lot. And also I would say to plan and organize, implement for your center, for the geriatric center, practicum sites for your students to engage with elderly. This is the beautiful opportunity how our young training or trainee students, faculty members can be involved in that kind of task. And these are some of the you are very familiar with, but I just thought I'll just show what are the alternative strategies to promote well-being. Healthy diet, meditation, yoga, prayers, cultural practices, whether you go to any specific religious or spiritual practices, acupressure, dance, music, going in nature. These are some of the things also help the well-being, particularly for elderly. Next part is the well-being, that is relationship with provider. We have done some studies and many other studies have been found. A relationship with provider, doctors, nurses are part of development of well-being among all, but particularly among elders. When there is a barrier between the client and the provider and the relationship is not good, it really impacts health. Our study we did here in 2021, looking at Filipino Americans elders what kind of problems they had, what we found is when the elderly men and women do not trust or do not have a good relationship with doctors, medical doctors, psychologists, nurses, their health started declining, both physical and mental. And we just published that in a book in 2021, and I want to expand that to other Asian groups. There has been a lot of studies in the past done, which relates to cultural and linguistic barriers. I know that even in Odisha or in India, we have so many languages. When the doctors do not use the language that is pretty much familiar with our elderly, it creates a barrier. And that's where even the digital technology will help. And finally, when we are providing therapy, and I can only, being a psychologist, I can only talk about psychology, therapy. How are we providing those therapy? Are we respectful of their culture, their values? That helps. Final well-being is interprofessional collaboration. And this is something I am big on, and I am very involved with multiple professionals here, because no one sector can bring well-being to anyone, particularly elders. Because if you think about elderly care, there are so many specialists involved, physicians, orthopedician, dentist, all that. But are we collaborating? American Psychological Association in 2014 report mentioned that when there are collaboration among healthcare providers, that brings holistic well-being, and that is very true. And when providers are talking to each other, they're aligning with each other, which is part of integrated healthcare that impacts actually their clients, their patients, and our elderly, which we call here patient-centered care. Thus, professionals in a multidisciplinary team truly can make our elderly population healthy. And this is what I'm undertaking right now, interprofessional collaboration, how that impacts. We have published in 2022 our report, how interprofessional collaboration impact health and well-being of patients. And this is my last slide. What am I doing and why am I interested? Being an academic, we all have to do research, which I am big on. We are right now undertaking health app, how to benefit our elderly, particularly Asians in USA and in India. My lab is now undertaking how to translate this health app in multiple languages. We have completed about 3-4 languages, including Odia. And then how to make some research projects looking at collaborative effort, how that impacts our elderly care. I'm also engaged in integrated healthcare. When medical doctors and psychologists collaborate, it gives a better well-being to their clients, including elders. Finally, the project that I am using, and Bikram is part of it, we are a group of professionals, there are softwares, medical doctors, and myself, and my whole lab. Sorry. We are trying to see how use of this app can help our elders in different parts of our community. I'm doing that here with Southeast, Eastern Asians, and also we are trying to now develop that initiative for Latina community, Spanish-speaking community. So that is the research one. I'm very also involved in community outreach. We have frequent visit to the Elder Care Center in Massachusetts. We do psychoeducational outreach program. We conduct a lot of workshops to educate, not in a very high level talk, but simple way. What happens when we are stressed and how our health affects. We will be doing alternative health fair very soon in this month. And finally, I am very involved in developing a mentoring program. Like mentoring is elders can also educate our youngers and mentor the younger professionals with their knowledge and wisdom. And I hope your center, I'm looking forward to, and Dr. Pardee has been very progressive and enthusiastic. Hopefully our collaboration will lead to many research and outreach programs. That said, I think I'll hand it over to Vikram, who will talk about Nimai Care, which he has been working on. Do you want me to share screen?
Okay. Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Ray, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, and respected dignitaries, and Professor Rai. Actually, today we present Nimai Care, which is the like a initiative to address all these issues we are having with the elders using AI, artificial intelligence. And as you know, artificial intelligence needs data to have its decisions or methods or models to build. And this mobile app is doing that. We're collecting data. And I'll go through that. I'll show you how you're collecting, what you're collecting, and what you're addressing. That is our goal. But any questions, most welcome. You can stop me or put them in the chat, we'll address. Let me do it. Okay, let me share my screen. You cannot screen share while the other person is sharing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is an app called Nimai Care, and Nimai stands for National Institute for Medical Assistive Intelligence. And this goal is to use machine learning and artificial intelligence to have healthcare and well-being, social isolation and safety solution, and solution for stay home and remote care for elderly. This app is available at Nimai app. Actually, if you send email, automatically it will send you the link to use this app. And as you know, this World Health Organization, WHO, is big on this old age healthcare. They have got a lot of initiatives for the last 10 years. And they're predicting by 2050, we'll have 2 billion elderly people. And already Japan is going up to 30% older people, but Orissa is only 10%. So Orissa is 10% means maybe because of the medical healthcare or somehow our elderly people longevity is not there. So this app we are doing to have two things. One is well-being, And another is connectivity. And using AI, we are trying to do health and well-being services to the seniors, like giving them recommendations on medication, like, suppose you're diabetic, there will be some interactions with other medications. And this, with use of AI ML, we can predict or we can recommend those to the doctors or pharmaceuticals when they prescribe the drug. Or alternative, sometimes in COVID, we had problem. Some popular medications is not available. But similar medications is available, but no doctors are prescribing because they always prescribe the popular one. So our app will suggest that to doctor. It's assistive. It is not replacing doctors. It will assist doctor to recommend those things. Those type of things we are planning to do. And that way we could reduce the healthcare cost, because instead of going for higher cost medication, we can recommend lower cost with the same effect. And enhanced also, because of this through our mobile app, we are giving connectivity to doctors, healthcare providers, even your caregivers, like your dear and near and dear one, for the, like, so that way you will have this our aged elderly people having the loneliness, they can have meaningful connections and have better life. That is our goal. Actually, today I was driving and Bloomberg Radio said that in world, loneliness is the #1 health risk. This is not only like, older people, for everybody. And when you become old, that become really, really big, because we lose our connectivity, we lose our mobility, we lose our circles because our contemporary people are dying. And so we become very, very lonely, and we become depressed, and that cause physical and mental problems. And so the statistic is that 1 in 3 elderly people are lonely. So we are trying to solve that solutions using the app. That is one of our goal. And this is World Health Organization study for the last 10 years they did. And here is like, loneliness, social isolation, social connections, all this how addressed by training, digital delivered the training for caregiving and skills. But this one draw my attention, digitally delivered learning, that's a new language, or there is nothing there. That means we can get, because like we have app, we can deliver new language teaching or new things to teach, which is meaningful to the elderly through our app. So see, there is a totally gap. There's nothing there. So this is the, I think is you are the part of the World Health Organization. You must have seen this chart. So, but I'm showing because I am interested on this area, how we can deliver learning materials, contents through our app. Okay, so here how we are using ML through this, like a doctor's appointment service, EG appointment. These are the activities users do, and the medications alerts, those create the events, and that events we use machine learning different models to come up with recommendations or alerts. Suppose we see the that sentiment analytics of their interactions, if any depressive or there something risk we're seeing, we can alert the healthcare providers or the near and dear ones, the caregivers. So that is how we are using the ML models. but we're still developing the ML models, but that is the goal. And as I said, we had two areas where focusing on well-being, applying ML methods and findings to improve elderly lifestyle and well-being, and connections, connect to trusted doctors. This is a big, because there is so many apps. They give, you can go search any doctor and you can find and give it to him. But doctors are like, you should trust them. And when you are really old, that time trust is a big, big thing, because you have to go to people with whom you're comfortable, they understand you, and you trust them. So that is why in this app, it is unique, because you bring your own doctor. Unless if you want, we won't suggest any doctor. You can bring your own doctor and you can have interactions with them. Any questions? Or so this is our path of and the app, how the user goes through. First is onboarding, but this is optional, because our app is not to collect your data. Our app is really to help elderly. So if they are not comfortable giving their personal details, then onboarding you don't have to do. But if you don't do onboarding, then we cannot give personalized recommendations. But you can use the data, you'll get the alerts, and you can use the appointments and medications. So you can and you can record medications. I'll go through all the features, but if you need personalized recommendation using ML, then you need to register so that you know who you are and what is your pattern. And if you share your data with others, come up with the different patterns, and we can give better AI recommendation predictions. And this app actually requested by one of my friend. He's Mihir Senapati, grandson of Fakir Mohan Senapati. He said he's taking medication. He says, I'm forgetting when to take medication, and you are from computer too. And that gives the idea to help. And from that day, we are adding new features, and he's a big part of always he's helping. I don't know whether I gave this link to him. He's what you call mining director of Odisha, but he retired now. So if he's joined, Mihir, you can give your experience, because he's our first user. Otherwise, I'll follow. Okay, so this is the path. So I'll go the app, how we'll go. Once you come to the app, that means you get it from a mobile app like Android or iOS. Once you download, then you don't need to register. You just come and use like this. Like if you don't have any, you are not invited in doctor, you'll see sample 1, sample 2. So that means once you send email to them, like once you click that, then it will send email to your doctor whom you invite. And then you can see them as their name here, and you can start getting appointment and then work. I'll show you how to get the appointment. Otherwise, you can go to your hospitals, nearby hospitals, and we have also KITS, Apollo, and JP, but we can add more and more on anybody's request. So once you click, and you can see the doctors there, and you can connect with them, or you can invite your doctors from there. So that a doctor, suppose you invite Alok is from KITS, then automatically we'll add that hospital for you here. So that means along with Alok, you can have other doctors on other facility, specialty. So that is the goal. And here, how to suppose you don't have any your doctors, you can just click on share. it will invite doctors, pharmacists, friends, family, and to the app. Automatically come. Or if you are a doctor, suppose I'm a retired doctor, I'm using this app, and you want to help, you can also connect. And here is the once you select that hospital, list of doctors will be there, and then where it says show more, then once you click there, then you will get the all the appointments for that doctor available. So once you click book appointment, that's one click, then it will send email or SMS based on the availability, because sometimes internet is not available, only cell activity, then we'll send SMS to get the appointment. And once you get the appointment, you'll get the prescription, and from prescription, you if you are able, you can enter, or you can ask pharmaceuticals or your caregivers to enter these things, like what pills amounts, how many days you are using, health issues, and a prescription image of the prescription to connect with you this medication. And also this is a voice one. Why you are doing this? Because suppose your visibility visually impaired, you cannot see it, or you cannot read. Now we are supporting only 4 languages. Suppose those languages are not good for you, so then you can record, or you can ask your grandchildren or somebody whom you like to hear their voice, they can record for you. So then you can read the prescription, you can listen to the prescription. So that is the goal. Okay. And then we can have different types of syrup, pills, capsules, and ointments. We are capturing this information because it will help on recommending the medication. Like suppose some people are they don't want to take the capsule, or they just like only syrup. So based on that, we'll recommend the medication. So that is the intention. And here how we'll record the prescription. So just you click on this button, what do you call, mic, and read, or your grandchildren or somebody can read for you, so that you can listen to their voice every time you open that prescription. Okay, so then here all the reminders, you'll see like that past, and because these we're using for our analytics. So, and then based on whether you're taking medication or not, we'll have a personal analysis. And if you share this data, then we'll aggregate and use for global analytics. And these alerts will come like this in your phone. Suppose cetirizine, take 2 pills, like that. And this is your personal analytics, like how many times you're taking, how many medications you are taking, whether you forget or you are taken, or you don't care, no response means you have not given. So we keep track, and that gives you the pattern. Suppose we are seeing people who are depressive or have not positive attitudes, they are especially old people, they don't take medication. Looks like a self-destructive. Hello. Yeah. Some disturbance. Okay. So this is personal analytics, but if you share, then we'll add to the global data, and we'll do the global analytics. And this. Hello. Okay. And this we have a dedicated to. There's some disturbance, but I'll continue because we don't, we are already late. So we are dedicating to Dr. Nimanand Rai, as you said, and but in personalized version, you have you can dedicate to whoever you like admiration, so that for your admiration you can dedicate. That is the design. Then now we have English, Hindi, Telugu, and Odia. Now we're adding Spanish and Bengali. But if you want any other language you like to have, we'll do that. And this is the menu, and this menu is for elderly people, because okay, so and this is the okay, and but that's it. And that is any questions, we can take the questions, and you can download this app from here. If you send the email, you'll get the link. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your time. Hello.
I guess with that, we should kind of close. And if anyone has any question, comments, we can certainly take the question. If any, just make sure that we also hear your questions. And if you have anything that you would like to say, but I wanted to thank you all for listening and spending your time with us. So namaste and thank you. So now open for question. Anybody has any questions, comments, please.
କୋଉ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ କହିଲା ଆନ୍ସର ନା ସୋସିଆଲ ଦୋଷର ଯେ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ମାନେ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରେସ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଦଉନାହିଁ।
I would like to request everyone, please mute your phone except speakers. Except speakers, please mute yourself, and whomever are having any question, please ask freely to the speakers.
Thank you.
Can I have some?
Yeah.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, all the elites here, my friend Sukanya, and Mr. Vikram, Professor Ryo Takahashi, and Sanjukta, and others from this university. Actually, I am a silent listener. I have told Sanjukta that I will listen, but I can't control my temptation to say something after seeing my friend after 42 years. You can't imagine, Sukanya, when I got your phone number from Sanjukta, immediately I message you, and I have added you in our group. It's really a very, very good opportunity to see you. Further, I would like to say that Professor Ryo Takahashi, who is present here, he is a very good friend of mine. We are actually working since 2009, when the International Conference on Gerontology was going on in Andhra University. At that time, Professor Takahashi was the director of that AUNCSA, and the World Gerontology Board was also started by him, and we are being the member of that World Gerontology Board. The international synthesis on the gerontology conference generally having its much history, but I will just focus to some of the conferences where we have met and have analyzed many things and what we have done till yet. Because you have done a very good work, the research on gerontology and the app developed by Professor Vikram. The first gerontology conference was held in 2007 in Okinawa. Second in attended in Russia in 2011. The fourth conference in which the slogan was "Youth is a gift and the age is an art" by Professor Ryo Takahashi in 2012 in Japan. Then fifth conference we have done in California. I mean, we have attended under the guidance of Professor Edward in Association of Gerontology in Higher Education. You might be knowing him. Then sixth international conferences we have done in Parlakhundi, in Odisha, with the collaboration of Centurion University. Besides this, I have also organized one conference with the collaboration of Banki College. I was in Banki College at that time, and my mister was the principal of Pipili College. With the collaboration of Banki College and Pipili College, we have done one UGC-sponsored national seminar where Professor Ryo Takahashi and Smith Burma were the guests. Then I have also conducted another conference, UGC-sponsored national conference in Satya Sai Women's College when I was the principal there. And there also the slogan was on how to develop the researches and the educational perspective on gerontological issues. This focus was that silver citizens are wealth to the mankind. Don't treat them as the garbage. And 100 participants are there, and very much analysis and synthesis was made at that time. And finally, we are here. And really, I am very glad to know that you have done so much things in USA, Australia, and also in India. So I think if we will collaborate ourselves, then it can improve the objectives, because the same objectives you have and also we have. And I am also very much glad to know that Gangadhar Mehri University has opened this center. I have heard about it from 3 to 4 years back when the then Vice Chancellor Atanu Kumar Pati, Sir Hati, welcome and congratulations to you, sir. Only for your effort, now the department is having with us. And I think I have heard that it has been in progress, and in this 2022, I think the session has been started. Surely I will hope that Sukanya and Vikram sir and all of us can collaboratively put it up in not only in the research wing but also in academics. Another thing I would like to add, I have seen the courses of studies Sanjukta has sent to me about the gerontologies and geriatric issues which is prevailing in that university. I would like to say, I'd like to add something more to it, that on yoga gerontology. I have given the courses of studies. I have presented in 2012 conference in Japan, then in the Association of Gerontology in Higher Education in California, and they have accepted, and many of the countries are also following it. After returning from California, I have also given this proposal to our government in this Odisha government. They have assured me, and on that year they have also implemented in the Gana Shiksha, I mean in the upper primary and lower primary schools. and they have assured me to carry out in the higher education level, and already it has been started in GM University. It's really a good effort. And also I would like to request Sukanya and Vikram Babu if they can contribute to this, because when it has been implemented in different universities in throughout the world, when this year when we are doing the conferences on global peace mission, at that time we have also analyzed on these gerontological issues and disability sectors. And the African universities, they need a textbook on it. They said that when we are going to implement in the higher education level and in school level, there must be a book, handbook on it. So now it has also been started, and I would like to request both Sukanya and Mr. Vikram, if they can contribute to this book, it will be a great opportunity for us. And with these words, I will not take more time, because there may be many more people who can ask them things. Just I have to inform you that we are here, and Professor Rio also is here. If he can say something about it, it will be more effective, I think. So thank you, Sanjukta. Thank you, sir. Thank you all the organizing committee member to give me this chance. Again, thanks to Sukanya and Vikram. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm Ryo Takahashi from Japan. I'm so grateful for listening, both of you, the special talk. The point is 1991. In 1990, I was a graduate student at the University of Utah. Rick Connolly was the president of AGI. It's the name changing association in higher education for academy from AGI was a different name though. At that time, one graduate student, graduate student raised a question: what is gerontology, the philosophy of gerontology? The famous professors upon the stage, nobody could answer it. Very science. Since then, I have been developed the philosophy of gerontology. So you just type on the two words, you can see on the Google my name on it because that. But India has a philosophy already. As Dr. Santa Misra mentioned, yoga actually universal gerontology. Even yoga gerontology, this is not existed in Google at all. But since living yoga originally, or actually living in India too, we can develop this way because misunderstanding what is yoga is very broader meaning is included. So we can start the yoga universal gerontology because person who may have any religious belief, but we welcome everybody to exercise and learning, helping together as you mentioned, may be able to develop that philosophy and also practice reason into the lesson as you have been already have done. So I'm so pleased to be invited this session to join. And also very good is this is Odisha Geriatric and Gerontology Center was the organizer. So pleased that this name who made Orissa. So we can start since Dr. Santa Misra is staying there and develop together and joined it. The IT program also very important as in Japan. So what is IT is still people say in India, but actually I was living in India. IT was not really developed, only part of the India. But you can share all information what you have present into the world from this point. So this is very, very thankful for having attended this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know it is getting late, but if students have any question, feel free to ask because, you know, I'm an academic. I get excited when I hear questions from students. If anyone.
Hello.
Yeah.
Madam, may I audible?
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
Madam, there is a question in the chat from Ananya Behera.
Yeah.
That
Uh-huh.
whether this app is available, this is the question I think to Bikram sir, whether this app
Yes.
is available in YouTube or any such device it can be uploaded.
Yes, actually, it is
It
native
is,
app
so
for
excuse me, sir, whether they are asking whether it can be
yes,
downloaded from the Play Store or any such device. Yes.
Yes, Play Store and this iOS and Apple's what do you call market? What do you call? It is a standard iOS and Android app. If you email Nimai, or you can go to that and search for Nimai app, you'll get the you can download.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Sukanya Rai. Thank you, Bikram sir, for exchanging their valuable deliberations and idea challenges and issues to the elderly. And now I'm also very much thankful to Ryo Takahashi sir from Japan, Professor Santa Madam, the retired professor who is actively being engaged in such activities. Thanks a lot, Takahashi sir. Thanks a lot, Santa Madam. Now I request to give formal vote of thanks to Dr. Rupasri Brahma Kumari Madam. Madam, it is up to you.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Good morning to one and all gathered here on this occasion. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Gangadhar Mehar University, Professor N. Nagaraju sir, distinguished speakers, Dr. Sukanya Roy and Dr. Bikram Roy for the today's international webinar. Respected Professor S.K. Das, PGC Chairman, IQAC Director, Dr. Alek Kumar Sutar sir, respected Register Durgaleshwari Das Madam, and Deputy Registrar UC Pati sir, Chairman of OCGG, Professor Atanu Kumar Pati sir, Coordinator of OCGG Monalisa Mahapatra Madam, all co-PIs, Head of the school, Dr. Sandukta Padi Madam, my colleagues and students present both online and offline. It is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks for this webinar program on behalf of School of Psychology and Odisha Center for Geriatrics and Gerontology. First of all, my sincere thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor N. Nagaraju sir for giving his support and guidance to conduct the international webinar. I also thankful to him for sparing his valuable time and to remain present during this webinar. We convey our gratitude and heartfelt thanks to our speaker, Dr. Sukanya Roy. We enjoyed your marvelous presentation, madam, on elderly population. It was very informative. And also thankful to our speaker, Dr. Bikram Roy sir, for your deliberation. I am sure our attendees benefited by the same. Even though you are from other areas, sir, it was really innovative and helpful for the research on elderly population. My special thanks to our chairman of OCGG, Atanu Kumar Pati sir, We expect your continuous support to OCGG. My special thanks to Register Madam for her kind presence and guidance. My sincere thanks to our Deputy Registrar Sir. I would like to thank our beloved PGC Sir, Sushant Kumar Sir. I would like to thank IQAC Director Alek Kumar Sudar Sir. Also, I would like to thanks to Professor Santa Misra Madam and Professor Takahashi Sir. My sincere and also thanks to all the co-PIs of OCGG, faculty members, colleagues, office staffs, students for making this function a grand success. Once again, thank you to all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I also have to extend my sincere thanks to Vice Chancellor, Professor Nagraj, and also to Dr. Sanjukta Padi. You have been so dedicated. I think this is how university grows. And I'm so pleased to hear that the Center for Gerontology is at GM University, and appreciation for ex-Vice Chancellor who has this great vision. So thank you on our behalf from this part of the world. Well wishes.
Thanks.
And hope to continue our collaboration also.
Thanks a lot, madam, for your support, for your kind
So,
support. Thank you. Thanks a lot, madam, sir, who are present here. The meeting is now ended. Thank you all.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sukanya,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.